also undermines the institutional infrastructure established to regulate relations among nations. We have seen examples of these in Libya, Iraq, and countless cases in Africa, where foreign interventions and interference create security crises and undermine national governance institutions cultivated through nuanced and complex national contexts. South Africa stresses that allegations of internal governance challenges, human rights concerns, or acts of criminality by a head of state cannot justify a breach of the Charter's prohibition on the use of force, particularly Article 2.4 of the Charter. The peaceful resolution of disputes and internal matters must proceed in accordance with international law and through multilateral mechanisms. Additionally, under international law, a state has exclusive jurisdiction over persons and conduct within its own territory. Any enforcement of domestic law, including arrest by one state within the territory of another state without the state's consent, is an unlawful violation of sovereignty. There are recourse mechanisms at the disposal of states to implement international law. This includes taking action by bringing a case before the International Court of Justice or seeking action from the Security Council. We note the statement issued by a group of concerned countries, mainly those in the Latin American region, most affected by the developments in Venezuela, which reiterates that the situation in Venezuela must be resolved exclusively through peaceful means, through dialogue, negotiation, and respect for the will of the Venezuelan people in all its expressions, without external interference and in accordance with international law. Mr. President, each one of our countries, including our peoples, that are members of this organization and that are bound to its charters, have the right to determine our own democratic and political path. This inherent charter-given right to self-determination cannot and should not be abrogated. If we do not stand up for the sovereign rights of any nations or states when they are undermined and wantonly violated, then which one of us are safe or are guaranteed protection by the principles of the Charter and international law? Failure to act decisively against such violations is a tantamount to inviting anarchy and normalizing the use of force and military might as the main form of discourse in international politics. This would be a regression into a world preceding the United Nations, a world that gave us two brutal world wars, and an international system prone to severe structural instability and lawlessness. We cannot afford to proceed into a complex future without the stability and protection afforded by international law. I thank you.
I thank the representative of South Africa for his statement, and I now give the floor to the representative of Eritrea.
Hey,
Thank
fun
you, Mr.
fact,
President.
that Somali guy owns a daycare in Ohio. I swear to fucking God, that Somali guy owns a daycare in Ohio. Look it up.
January. We also extend our congratulations to Bahrain, Colombia, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Liberia, and Latvia on their election to the Security Council. As this is the first Security Council meeting of the year, allow me to pay tribute to the outgoing members, Algeria, Guyana, the Republic of Korea, Sierra Leone, and Slovenia, for their dedicated service and diligent work throughout the tenure of the Council. I read this statement on behalf of the Group of Friends in Defense of the United Nations Charter. The Group of Friends in Defense of the Charter of the United Nations condemns the most unequivocal and categoric manner the act of aggression perpetrated on 3rd January 2026 against the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela by special forces of the United States of America, which included armed attacks against civilian and military objects in the capital city of Caracas, as well as in various other cities of the Venezuelan territory, and the illegal abduction of the President and First Lady of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, His Excellency Mr. Nicolas Maduro Moros, and Her Excellency Mrs. Celia Flores de Maduro. The member states of the Group of Friends in Defense of the Charter of the United Nations expressed their serious concern at the impact of these series of armed attacks, particularly on civilians and their human rights to life, which have included military assaults with U.S. Special Forces, while emphasizing that such acts constitute a clear breach of international law and of each and every principle governing international relations, including those foreseen in the Charter of the United Nations. The Group of Friends of the Charter of the United Nations reiterates its firm support to the constitutional government of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela under the leadership of President Nicolas Maduro Moros, and emphasize the importance of ensuring strict respect for the inviolability of the immunities accorded to heads of states and government under international law, while renewing its unwavering solidarity with the Venezuelan people.
You know what's crazy about the UN, man? You ever listen to gangsters have a meeting? Gang meetings sound more important and serious than this bullshit.
Self-defense. The member states of the Group of Friends in Defense of the Charter of the United Nations demand for the immediate cessation of all hostilities against the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, for the full respect for the sovereignty, territorial integrity, political independence, and inalienable right to self-determination of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, for the immediate return of President Nicolas Maduro.
You know what? That's a great call. Yeah, this does sound like an HR work lecture. It really does. Like, did you just run to the UN to Trump? You guys sent Trump to HR? Is that what you think this is going to do? I dare you to sanction Trump. I dare you. How's that even work?
The United States of America during the afternoon of 3rd January 2026, in which he not only threatened with additional airstrikes against the Venezuelan territory, but also claimed to resolve to occupy and govern the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela and to exploit the natural resources and administer the wealth of that sisterly nation in what can only be described as the confession of a clear plan of annexation that foresees, among others, the complete obliteration of the inalienable rights of the Venezuelan people, as well as the fundamental rights of the Venezuelan state as a whole. The member states of the Group of Friends of the Defense of the Charter of the United Nations call on all relevant international bodies, including the Security Council and the General Assembly of the United Nations, to swiftly mobilize in order to uphold the purposes and principles enshrined in the Charter of the United Nations and to urgently take appropriate measures to avoid further escalation of the situation on the ground.
You know, America is really getting sick and tired of being lectured by all the global H-1Bs. It's really getting old.
And preserve both regional and international peace and security. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Eritrea for her statement, and I now give the floor to the representative of Islamic Republic of Iran.
Thank you.
I hope there are children in your daycare center right now, because we're checking. You better make sure there's at least 5 kids in your daycare center right now, because we're checking. We heard about you, man.
In the name of God, the compassionate and merciful, thank you, Mr. President, for convening this emergency and important meeting. We acknowledge the presence of the Undersecretary General Misticolo at this meeting and extend our appreciation to Professor Jeffrey Sachs for his informative and insightful briefing. At the outset, I would like to extend my warm congratulations to Somalia on its assumption of the presidency of the Security Council for this month. I also wish to warmly congratulate the newly elected members of the Council, Bahrain, Colombia, Republic of Congo, Latvia, and Liberia on their election. Mr. President, the Islamic Republic of Iran would like to associate itself with the statement delivered by Eritrea on behalf of the Group of Friends in Defense of the Charter.
You know what I would really love to hear? I would love to hear Dr. Doom from like the Marvel universe. I would love to hear Dr. Doom address the UN. Actually, Trump should just come to the UN with a green robe on, and they'll get the message. Because this shit's lame. Whatever the fuck you guys do all day, this is so lame.
Charter of the United Nations, and wishes to make the following remarks in its national capacity. First, the Islamic Republic of Iran condemns in the strongest possible terms the military attack carried out by the United States of America against the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. This illegal act constitutes a state terrorism, a manifest violation of Charter of the United Nations, particularly Article 2, Section 4, and Section 7. And peremptory norms of the international law and amounts to an internationally wrongful act and a full-fledged act of aggression. Such military aggression against an independent member state of the United Nations establishes a serious breach of regional and international peace and security with far-reaching consequences for the international system as a whole. Second, the abduction of democratically elected president and the first lady of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela by the United States constitute a flagrant violation of customary international law, including the principles of the inviolability of the immunities accorded to the heads of a state and government under international law, and represent a grave assault on the sovereign equality of states. The Islamic Republic of Iran recalls Venezuela's inherent right to self-defense and underscored the legal responsibility of the United Nations, in particular the Security Council, to take immediate measures to halt this unlawful aggression and to ensure accountability for all those responsible. Iran also affirms its full support for the people and legitimate.
Hey, really quickly, what's Trump's Iranian body count? Anybody know offhand what Trump's Iranian body count is? I know it's like 2 or 3 at least, right? You got Soleimani, got Durka. You got a couple of guys. He looks nervous, is all I'm saying. This guy looks fucking nervous right here.
Strike at the very foundations of the charter-based international legal order and establishes a dangerous precedent that must be categorically and unequivocally rejected. The so-called declared U.S. policy of peace through strength prescribed the law of the jungle and the rule of force instead of rule of law, and if tolerated and normalized, would render the collective security system established by the Charter ineffective and devoid of purpose. Fourth, the continued inaction and paralysis of the Security Council in the face of the explicit threat and act of aggression by the United States have fostered a dangerous climate of impunity. It has emboldened the United States to persist in unlawful manifest violation of Article 2 of the Charter of the United Nations. At the same time, the United States is shedding.
And I ran so far away. I just ran. I ran all night and day.
Coercive measures against Iran. This includes its direct political, military, and operational support and involvement for Israeli regime unlawful joint war of aggression against Iran between 13 and 24 June 2025, which resulted in loss of civilian life, attacks on civilian infrastructure, and serious violations of fundamental human rights of the Iranian people. Iran reaffirms its inherent right to defend its sovereignty, territorial integrity, and national security, and to protect its people against any foreign interference. The United States of America will bear full responsibility for consequences arising from its unlawful threats and any ensuing escalation. Finally, we unequivocally reject the baseless allegation and unwarranted reference made to Iran by the representative of the United States at this meeting. The facts on the ground are clear, speak loudly for themselves, and cannot be concealed by political rhetoric or manufactured narrative. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Islamic Republic of Iran and now give the floor to the representative of Uganda.
Thank you, Mr. President.
I'm really blown away that a Somali is running this whole affair. Like, the irony, we're in peak irony right now, and it's only 5 days into January. The irony is too much.
Territorial integrity of all nations. The Coordinating Bureau of the Non-Aligned Movement, NAM, categorically condemns the act of aggression perpetuated by the United States of America against the Bolivian.
Nobody ever in the history of the world has ever wondered, what the hell does Uganda think about this? Not once has that ever came up in a serious discussion.
City of Caracas, as well as in various other cities of the Venezuelan territory. The Coordinating Bureau of the Non-Aligned Movement notes that attacks.
This is like that one Dave Chappelle joke about Ja Rule on 9/11. You know, it's such a difficult time, such an emotional moment. I really got to hear from Ja Rule right now. Like, nobody gives a shit about Uganda right now. We're going to throw a spear across the Atlantic Ocean.
While also threatening the very right to life of the Venezuelan people. Excuse me. The Coordinating Bureau of the Non-Aligned Movement demands the immediate cessation of all hostilities against the Bolivian Republic of Venezuela, the full respect of the sovereignty, territorial integrity, political independence, and inalienable rights to the self-determination of Bolivian Republic of Venezuela, and that those responsible for those ongoing acts of aggression to be held accountable. The Coordinating Bureau of the Non-Aligned Movement reaffirms the inviolability of the immunities accorded to the heads of states and government under international law, which constitute a fundamental pillar of sovereign equality, peace, coexistence, and stable international relations. These immunities, firmly rooted in customary international law and consistent with the purposes and principles of the Charter of the United Nations, must be respected universally without discrimination, and any actions or measures that undermine or selectively disregard them risk eroding multilateralism, destabilizing international relations, and weakening the international legal order. Excuse me. Mr. President, the Coordinating Bureau of the Non-Aligned Movement reiterates its full solidarity with the people and government of the Bolivian Republic of Venezuela at this critical time, and insists that military solutions are not viable avenues for addressing any issues that may be of concern between members of the international community. I thank you, Mr. President.
I thank the representative of Uganda for the statement.
You know, this entire UN meeting could have been held at a Ramada in New Jersey off of like Route 1 or 95 or something. Like, do we need a giant building right on the river for this bullshit?
Gracias, señor presidente.
Thank you, Mr.
Señor
President.
presidente,
Mr. President,
mi delegación se ve obligada a
my
hacer uso de la
delegation
palabra
feels it must take
para
the floor
responder a las
again to
acusaciones
respond to the
infundadas
unfounded
formuladas por la delegación de
accusations
Estados
formulated
Unidos
by
contra
the
Cuba.
United States against
Resulta
Cuba.
indignante
It
que
is,
quienes han
we are indignant
protagonizado
that those that have
agresiones
led
unilaterales y
unilateral
violaciones
aggressions and
sistemáticas del
violent
derecho
systematic.
All right, the UN's engineering staff is shitty. Like, if you're going to play the English version, you can mute his goddamn mic. I don't need two people speaking poor English in my ear at the same time. Mute his mic.
Reject the accusations that Cuba has intelligence assets in Venezuela. These kinds of statements lack any factual base and are a clear attempt to take the eyes of the world off the criminal acts of the United States in the region. Cuba strictly respects the sovereignty, independence, and inalienable right of the Venezuelan people to decide their own destiny, as established by the United Nations Charter. Cooperation between both countries is in multiple spheres, has legitimate basis, and is based on bilateral agreements signed by both parties, as has been declared by the revolutionary government. The 32 combatants that fell in terrorist acts perpetrated by the United States were in missions of the revolutionary forces at the request.
That guy looks a little bit afraid, no lie. He looks afraid. You know, all we got to do is park a couple of battleships off the Cuban coast and just launch actual fireworks. We don't even have to fire up the guns. We can just launch bottle rockets into the air over Cuba. and half the battle is won already. He knows this. It's over for them.
I thank the representative of Cuba for the statement. There is no more names inscribed on the list of speakers. The meeting is adjourned.
The meeting is adjourned? Is that all we're getting? You guys left your countries for that bullshit? Incredible. Like I said, we could have done this at the Ramada off the 1-9. Giant waste, giant waste.
Hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad.
This is about targeting women of color in the United States of America. Don't tell me, because I didn't get a single apology.
Time has expired.
My life was threatened. Thank you.
Hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad.
Anyway, I appreciate you guys coming out for this one. This isn't even the show I planned to do. I just caught this actually. I was about to go live with a totally different concept, because we were going to talk about the Maduro memes and all that. And we're going to do that now. Now this UN faggotry is done. We're gonna move on and have a little fun with the show today. I'm actually going to end this one and fire up the Maduro stream shortly. Let me see if I can raid this bad boy out. Let me go in here, check these features. Let me see if I can set up a raid or something. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute before you go. Let me see. I know I should have been doing this in the background 5 minutes ago. My bad. But let me get this thing really set up, and we can redirect. Bam. All right, that's done. Let's go to the other one. Redirect. Oh wait, not even there. It's here. Redirect. Okay, we are locked in. All right, thank you all for coming out today to watch this this UN meeting and this bullshit. We probably spent like $20 million just for this meeting, because we pay for the UN in America, right? They don't even pay us rent on Turtle Bay. We pay them. It's crazy work. But anyway, this meeting is very crucial. Hilarious. You funny. This is an international gathering of hoes mad, bro. That's all that was.
Hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad.
This is about targeting women of color in the United States of America. Don't tell me, because I didn't get a single apology.
Time has expired.
My life was threatened. Thank you.
Hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad.
Yeah, like I said, though, I am going to end this stream. I'm just actually stalling for time. I need to open up the other stream before I even do too much. Oh, looks like I can't get into it from here. That's weird. That is really weird. But actually, I already have it up. And it's on, and we're live. That. All right. So we're gonna end this one and get up out of here. I will catch you guys in a minute. I will see you on the other side. Thank you for coming through. Remember to hit that like button on your way out. You see it? It's up. It's running. All right. Yeah. Remember. We're gonna come door to door. Please sign the Hose Mad Resolution 304 Act. I'm gonna send it to you in an email or something. Hit that like button, y'all.
It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done.